Guys, welcome back to another What If. What if Deku was Batman? Part 5, I guess, I think. Yeah, part 5. So, let's begin. What if? So, we start off after Deku and Momo had something. And they went to a hotel and they continued. And now they have 1 week off from school. So, it's a couple days later. And even though I said that in 3 days Deku and Momo will get married, let's say in a couple of weeks they will. So, yeah. Yeah. Should we follow from Deku in the Batcave? Just, doing some stuff. And he's like, Alfred, I think I want to take some equipment from Midoriya Enterprise. And Alfred's like, are you sure, sir? Are you sure that anybody like Lucius Fox would find out? Deku's like, maybe we could tell Lucius that I'm Batman. He is a good, secret person, and he has even told his wife about him working with us. And don't you think he can't tell the secret about Batman? Alfred's like, good decision, sir. And Deku's like, yeah. I'm gonna go tell him that I'm Batman so he can create some of our equipment. Because some of the equipment that I created is kind of messed up. I'll go by in 10 minutes. So 10 minutes later, Deku goes into his car and he drives to his Enterprise. And he goes to the top floor and he sits down. And he calls Lucius. And Lucius is like, sir, I've done your bank details. And Deku's like, may you sit down, please? And Lucius is like, sure, sir. What do you want? And Deku's like, why don't I tell you this? Turn off all security cameras. And Lucius turns off all security cameras. And Deku's like, hope you don't tell this to anybody. I am Batman. Lucius like, who's that? Are we talking about the Dark Knight? That guy? You're serious? Deku's like, yeah. I've been creating my own tech. But these days, the text has been fuzzy, and I need a new suit. My previous suit got kind of destroyed. And Deku's like, Lucius is like, sure, I could work on that. Just give me a few days to work on it. I need some of equipment. And Deku's like, sure. Thank you, Lucius. And please, keep it a secret. I don't want my loved ones to get in danger. And Lucius is like, yeah, I understand. Lucius walks away. Deku, he leaves his Enterprise. And he's just taken the elevator and he's by himself on the lift until he feels an explosion on top of the floor where he was at. And Deku's like, what the? Oh no, the elevator's stuck. And Deku's only in the middle. And Deku's like, shit, some villain. They're probably up there. Made it probably a bomb to kill me. Hope Lucius is alright. And he hears screaming and people start evacuating the building. Deku, realizing he can't expose his secret by jumping off and doing something cool. Deku has to think. Do something tactical with his brain. Deku starts hacking in and he starts putting the elevator higher and higher, and the elevator goes up, up, up until the highest floor. And Deku, he reaches where the bomb was, and he's like, "Is anybody there?" And there's nobody. But what there is a box. A box with a question mark. And it says, "Riddle me this, riddle me that. What do you get when somebody dies?" And Deku's like, what does that mean? Maybe I need Jim Gordon to help me. No, I need this case to be by myself. Even Jim doesn't even like me. Deku's like, I have to use my detective side then. To my brute force. Deku tries to open the puzzle. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, but if the Rubik's Cube was actually a circle, yeah, how confusing is that? And he has to match all the colors together. Deku's like, at times like this, I wish Lucius was actually here, but he's actually evacuated. Deku is like, I need to come out of the smoke right now before I die. Deku smashes through the half of the building into the other half of the building without anybody knowing, and his suit is a bit burnt up, and Deku's like, damn it, I need to take the stairs. Deku takes the stairs and he evacuates the building with the other people, and he's like, whoa. And he's acting like he didn't do anything and he wasn't up there. Yeah, like he was with the crowd. And he changed his appearance. And Deku's like, damn, I need to go in my car. Deku goes in his car and he starts speeding around Gotham into the Batcave. No, he doesn't go into the Batcave. He goes into abandoned subway. And yeah, Deku, he doesn't have one cave. He has multiple caves around Gotham, Tokyo. And so he can keep around areas nice and smooth, stop traffic and all that. And yeah, Deku goes into a computer fact room and starts searching these things about what does a person do when they dead, and all he sees is nothing. And Deku's like, probably a new villain, but does he know that I'm Batman? Maybe he just hates me. What does a person do when they dead? They have to be in the grave, right? Until we see Alfred, and he's like, Master Midoriya, I heard that you'll be here. So, how are you doing with your riddle? And Deku's like, it's frustrating, I don't even know. What does a person do when they stay dead? They die, they dissolve, their flesh rips off, insects eat them. Maybe they stay dead. They lay dead. Yeah, that makes sense. They lay dead. Meaning they lie dead. So somebody who died is still lying. Alfred, please go on the back computer and tell anybody who says riddles back in the past, like 20 years ago. It's like a 20-year-old riddle I used to do back in the day. And then Alfred goes on his computer and he starts typing. He's like, there's a guy. And he used to make riddles, and then he disappeared. Then he went to prison. Went to Arkham Asylum. And Then he escaped and lived a normal life. Maybe he came back to crime. And Deku's like, what's the guy's name? And Deku's like, Alfred's like, his name is Edward Nashton. And Deku's like, Edward Nashton. My parents think, and I think my parents knew him. They had a business meeting a long time ago. No. His father, that person, used to work with my father. So that person is probably a family friend. Or just a family enemy, if they betrayed my family. No. What if they're talking about my parents? What if my parents are liars? What if they didn't keep the city safe? Alfred's like, sir, don't be down on yourself. It can't be true. It can't be. I spent my whole entire life with the Waynes. They've never done something bad. It's always helped. Helped the poor and helped the rich even too. And Deku's like, yeah, you're right. I'm confused. And Deku sees, whilst he's fidgeting with the puzzle, an owl. And Deku's like, an owl? That's weird. It wasn't there just a few seconds ago. Maybe because I said it unlocked the first riddle. So, as I say the word with the puzzle, it unlocks something. And I've already unlocked an owl. Then it unlocks a count. It says count. And then Deku's like, count? What does that mean? And it says of. Owls again. It says count of owls. And Deku's like, count of owls? My parents do though. No, what's going on? I'm scared. Then Alpha's like, sir, don't you think we should throw this away? What if it's bad luck? What if it's cursed or something? And Deku's like, I need to find more information about my parents now. I think we've unlocked the first riddle. I think the person's gonna try and attack us again. But we need to be opened. We need to be woke. So, we follow from a few days, and Deku, he's out, and he's in the club, and he's just drinking alcohol. And then we see this mini guy, and he sits next to Deku, and he's like, hey, kid, why don't I give you a drink and we can chat? And Deku's like, sure. I'll only be here for like 1 hour. And the guy's like, sure, kid. Then he gets a drink and he's like, so, kid, I used to work with your parents. And they're very nice people. And Deku's like, why are you saying that? What's that? And the guy's like, sorry, it's what I just like being a penguin. And Deku's like, okay, have I met you before? And Deku's like, the penguin guy's like, no, you probably met my son. His name is Mineta. And Deku's like, Mineta? Oh, I've met him. We go to the same school. And Penguin is like, yeah. I didn't want the kid, so I put him into a care home, and now he's with some other parent. So we don't talk anymore. Cause he was too whiny and was too being a perv to my wife. And Deku's like, yeah, I could see that. Deku's like, yeah, so why am I here? Then Penguin's like, you want a business exchange? I want a business exchange. Why don't you give me your business and I can give you my smaller business, as I'm the oldest and you're the youngest. Deku's like, I think that's not how it works. My parents made good money on that, and I'm sorry, my company is not for sale. And Penguin's like, excuse me? Kid, do you want to get beaten up? Henchman! He snaps his fingers and he's like, take him out in the back. I own this club too, so yeah. And Deku's like, hey, get your hands off me. And they start beating up Deku. And Deku, he's allowing it because, Deku has a secret identity and he can't really use his fist. So after this, Deku goes and changes into Batman. And he smashes through the freaking glass and he's like, I'm vengeance. He starts pounding the henchman. He breaks the guy's arm. He repeatedly punches the guy. Punches the guy even when he's on the ground. And he slide tackles another henchman. He basically does what WWE wrestlers does. Lifts them up and slams them into a table. Penguin's like, what the? I need to get my gun. And he grabs his gun and he tries to shoot at Deku. But Deku, he's just blocking the bullets by dodging. Then he uses his bulletproof chest to deflect it into Penguin's eye. Penguin's like, gunpowder went in my eye. Gunpowder went in my eye. Then Deku repeatedly punches Penguin. Says, don't mess with me. And Penguin's like, who are you? Deku's like, I'm vengeance. Deku runs away. And he drives in his Batmobile. And he goes back into the Batcave. And he's like, so today's just all about my parents, isn't it? Deku has a bloody nose after he allowed the people to beat him up. And it's like, I haven't had a bloody nose in so many years. Since I fought Slade. And I by accident ripped his eye. And yeah. Deku now is now around 2 days and 2 days later, and it's Sunday, and Monday is the next day when he goes USJ. Deku is just chilling in his mansion, just doing some work of him being Deku as he is, the billionaire playboy. And then he gets a knock on the door, and it's Todoroki. Todoroki pushes Deku, and Deku's like, hey man, what are you doing? And Todoroki's like, dude, you know that I like Momoya Aruzu. Why are you doing this? And Deku's like, hey, I'm not doing this. I like her too. But she likes me more. And Todoroki's like, excuse me? Todoroki gets his ice hand and he punches at Deku. Deku's like, you really gonna hurt me? For somebody? Deku snaps Todoroki's hand, slide tackles Todoroki, punches Todoroki, left, right, grabs Todoroki to the wall, starts pinning him, then he's like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And Todoroki's like, I'm bleeding, please, just allow me to go. And Deku's like, you're gonna pay for what you did. And Deku yeets this dude to a table, smashing him into glass, and Todoroki's mouth is full of blood, and Todoroki's like, and he starts spitting out blood and vomiting blood. Deku's like, I told you, get out of my mansion. You worthless rat. Todoroki's like, you'll see. You'll see. I'll get my revenge. Todoroki leaves and he's like, plus, she thinks I'm hot. Deku takes a freaking knife that he was eating and he stabs it into Todoroki's chest, and he's like, don't mess with me. Shuts the door. Todoroki bleeding, and he's like, ugh, ugh. And Todoroki heals himself by using ice, and he takes out the knife out of his room and he starts walking away. Deku's like, what was I doing? That's my best friend. How would I turn my back on him? I knew that he loved her since high school and middle school. And yeah. So it's now the next day. And this is where we're gonna end it for today. No, I may do part 6 today, so stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next What If.